Yeah, I got interrupted, so that last video ended a little abruptly, but the main thing we still need to talk about is like the actual writing of the song, right? We've looked at some of the technicalities, we've looked at how to make sure you're picking the right notes and organizing them in a rhythmic way that meets those two qualities. But the real big meat of this decision is how do we write a song? Um, you can start two directions, and I think it's going to be easier if you start with a chord progression. So, what's a chord progression? It's generally four chords, and each chord lasts one measure, and then you repeat it. In order to make it nicely repeatable, it needs to end on a chord that's not C, that's not your home chord, something dramatic. So either G or a substitute for G. If you check out our um, graph here, you'll see um, D minor and E minor are the two ones that are a good substitute for Gs. Why is that? Well, it's pretty straightforward. It's the same way that we match harmony to melody, which is the notes have some overlap. So D is in the D minor chord, and D is also in the G major chord. And then G and B are in the E minor chord, and G and B are also in the G major chord. So E minor and G major have a lot of overlap. D and G have a little bit of overlap, but actually there's kind of a secret extra to G, which makes it sound even more dissonant. This is one of those breaking the rules of music moment. F doesn't belong in the G chord. If we add it to it anyway, it turns it into what's called a G7 chord, G with the seventh note added, and it sounds even more tension filled and dramatic. And if you have that most tension filled version of G, well, guess what? It has two notes in common with D minor. So that's why D minor is such a good substitute for G as well. It's dark and mysterious, as well as bringing two of those notes that make us think of the nemesis of our little story. So, you know what I forgot to add is that we have that method for melody composition or tune composition, where if you're not sure what to do, just pick between the three options, go up, go down, repeat. So I'm going to pause the recording real quick and add that information into the instructions. Yeah, that's done. What I'm going to do is copy some of this information into the notes section of this project. And this is going to be the assignment that I give you. Okay, that's a mess. I'm going to have to do it in a different format. I think two of these things would be really helpful. I'm gonna make a really short version of it. Okay. Um, and then we need our chord characteristics. Okay, I'm just gonna write them out. Okay. So what this information is in here now. What I'm going to recommend you do as you go to make your chord progression is go ahead and copy these or just delete the ones you don't want. We're going to take that idea of a chord progression being four chords, starts with C, ends with something not C. I'm going to pick E minor to end with. No, I'm going to pick D minor to end with. And right before that, I'm going to pick G. And before that, I'm going to put an extra C. You can repeat chords. So you could delete these notes if you want. But now our job, and I'm going to add this in a separate track, is to put in those notes. It's best if you go down to C, C3. Oh, and you can double click to create a note. I'm going to drag it. Yeah, let's go with eighth notes. You could also go with quarter notes. I'm going to turn this down a little bit too, because it's a bit loud. Okay. So we've got the C. Well, now we need E. Well, where's E? A, B, C, D, E. It's this one. I'm going to do broken chords because I like that sound. And next is G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's this one. And here's the cool thing about creating music in digital software. Okay, actually, I don't want it there. I'm going to go below. No, I'm going to go above. So C, E, G, they're right there. But there's so many other C, E, Gs. There's even a C right here. I'm going to do that C next. The reason I did that is I want a pattern of 4 notes so that it will repeat evenly and fill the measure. So go back to my selection tool. Click and drag so that I have all 4 notes selected. Copy. Put my cursor at 1.3. So beat 3. Paste. Now we've got, and let's mute this. We've got our first measure filled with the C chord. Sounds really cool. Okay. I planned to have C be my next chord as well for measure 2. So here we go. Paste. Next chord is G. Did it not paste? Oh, it only pasted half of it. Okay. Next chord is G. So I'm going to find a G. I'm going to go down for it. So C, B, A, G. That's my note. A, B, C. So G, next is A, next is B. So skip this one. That's A, this one's B. The other thing you can do is skip one white note for this pattern. So skip to this. I mean, it's gray here that what I'm actually looking at. Skip this gray, play this gray. Skip this gray, play this gray. Skip this gray, play this gray. That gives us that. That's what I'm looking for. Never mind. It only worked for the first 3. Okay. Where's the next G? Well, this was D, E, F, G. It's that one. G is also in the C chord. That's why we already have that note there. That's our pattern of 4 notes for G. Copy it, paste it. Now for D minor, I'm going to do the D right above the C. A, B, C, D. It's this one. Right there. D, skip 1, F, skip 1, A. Find D again. There's C, there's D. And copy paste. Okay, let's hear how it sounds. And let's hear how it sounds looped. You can just click here to make it repeat. It's very simple. If you want to, if there's like a sound in your head you want to copy out, go for that instead, but this is a great starting place. I'm gonna change up the instrument just for one little cool bit. Not piano, let's go for a synth. Keys. I like that. Okay. I'm gonna pause this video here, call this the chord progression video, and I'm gonna come back with another video explaining how to make the melody match the chord progression we just made.